guys, so today I'm going to do my absolute best to skip all this rambling that I normally do and just jump right into the tutorial. It's on this pink and gray smoky eye nude lip, lots of highlight, you know, nude blush. I just wanted to incorporate a little bit of color and a little bit of summer into kind of a classic gradient smoky eye. So with that being said, I'm going to jump right into the tutorial and I hope you enjoy it.
So I've been having a little bit of difficulty lately with keeping my eyeshadow from creasing, so I'm using some of this NARS Pro Prime Smudge Proof eyeshadow base and just blending that in with my fingers before I do concealer. And then to cancel out any discoloration that I have and to even out my lid space, I am using this Maybelline Fit Me Concealer and I am in the shade Medium. And then to blend that in, I am just using a little Zoeva brush. This is my 110 Face Shape brush. And then to set that so it doesn't crease, I'm using this NYX color correcting powder. It is this yellow toned powder. I really have been loving this. I've already talked about it a little bit, and I'm using my Morphe M501 to do this. For the eyeshadow, I'm going in with Cupcake from Makeup Geek, and I'm using my Zoeva 227 Luxe Soft Definer brush. My other fluffy brush that I wanted to use was wet, otherwise I would have used that, but I had just cleaned my brushes. So anyway, this worked just fine. After I have Cupcake laid down in the crease, I'm using this L'Oreal Infallible shadow in the shade Sultry Smoke and a Zoeva 222 Luxe All Over Shader brush. You can see it's a little bit patchy, so I had to work with it. And I'm just going back and like blending in between just to make sure I have a nice seamless gradient. So to build up some pigment, I am using this Too Faced Bulletproof 24-hour shadow liner, and I am just smudging this along my upper lash line, and then I'm going to use a little dense blending brush. Well, it's actually more of like a smudger. It's a petite eye blender from Zoeva number 223, and I am just working this as much as I can. I want to make it nice and smooth, but basically I wanted to deposit more color at the base of my lid because the gray just wasn't pigmented enough for me. So now I'm going back over it with Sultry Smoke and a smaller shading brush. This is the 234 Luxe Smoky Shader from Zoeva, and now you can see I'm starting to get that more smoky effect. And then going back in with Cupcake and blending that into the crease. And I decided it wasn't smoky enough still, so I went in with this Scone Insanely Intense Tattooed Waterproof Eyeliner, and I am just creating like the thinnest line possible at the base of my lashes, just to make them look a little bit fuller and thicker. And this is just the first step. I'm going to do more to make it look, you know, prettier. To go over top of the line that I just created, I'm using my Kat Von D Shade and Light eyeshadow palette, and I'm going into the black shade here and using my little Sigma Tight Line Liner. This is an E16 brush, and it's very soft and fluffy, but very precise, so it's allowing me to give that a nice smudgy effect. I don't want it to look like I just have one harsh line. I want this whole look to be very gradient and smoky, so creating that sort of fuzzy black effect towards the lash line, that's what I want. Alright, moving on from the eyes for now, I'm using my Nivea Men Sensitive Post Shave Balm and using this as a primer, and then also going over top of that with my Benefit Professional, just in the places where I have the largest and most visible pores. I cannot skip this step anymore. Now for foundation, I'm using my Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless and a Sigma HD 3D HD Kabuki brush to do this, and I really like how I'm able to get into the little nooks and crannies of my face with this brush. So now for concealer, I'm using something different actually. This is the Revlon Photo Ready Concealer and in the shade Light Medium, and I'm just putting this in the places that I normally would. I just wanted something a little bit creamier, a little bit more full coverage. You can probably tell my skin looks really tired, so I just needed something to kind of revive my skin, wake me up, and I am using a dampened beauty blender to buff that out and make it look flawless. You know the drill. And then to buff out my inner corners, I'm using my Zoeva 142 Concealer Buffer Brush. How fitting. These names are just amazing. And then I'm doing some little spot concealing with my Maybelline Fit Me. And I had lots of little discoloration spots and redness on my forehead. So yeah, I'm just tapping that out with my beauty blender and it's all good. You know, everyone's skin has its problems sometimes. Okay, so now for the interesting part. I thought I was setting my under eyes with some RCMA No Color Powder, but it was not RCMA No Color Powder. So I was working at this for so long to get it to go away. Anyway, set your eyes with RCMA No Color Powder. And then I'm going over top of this with my color correcting powder from NYX again, and this Morphe M501 brush, and just buffing away all that excess powder. And now for some more powder, because I'm not powdered enough, I'm using my e.l.f. translucent mattifying powder and my Zoeva powder brush just to kind of smooth out the whole face, set it in place. Alright, I'm returning to the eyes now and going back into Cupcake from Makeup Geek and using my Zoeva 230 Luxe pencil brush. And this looks really horrifying before it looks good. This is when I realized it looked like I had pink eye. So, you know, just keep going along. You'll be fine. It looks beautiful at the end. At least in my opinion, it does. So work that into the lower lash line. And now I'm going to tight line using my NYX Très Jolie gel pencil liner. I don't know how I feel about this. It kind of dries out my waterline like a lot, and it kind of separates a little bit, so it's okay. I'm not obsessed with it like Kathleen Lights is. That's why I bought it, but it was definitely worth a try. I'm going to use it. It's fine, but I don't know if I could say I highly recommend it. Just saying. And there's still powder under my eyes and by my nose. I could not escape the powder, guys. It was a huge mistake. And now I'm going back into the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette using the black color. And I'm depositing that color using a Sigma Shader crease brush. This is an E47. And then I'm going to go back with my pencil brush with no additional product and just make sure the two are blended together perfectly. I want it to look super smoky. For the inner corners, I'm popping some of Makeup Geek I'm Peachless in there using my Sigma Shader inner corner brush. This is an E46, and you can see it just gives a nice peachy, warm, iridescent glow. To contour and warm up my face at the same time, I'm using my Kat Von D Shade and Light palette and a Zoeva 127 Luxe Sheer Cheek brush, and kind of doing a moderate contour, I would say, and nothing too harsh. I definitely want it to still look soft. So I'm just using this all over the perimeters of my face and underneath my cheekbones, going alongside my jaw, and then I'm also going to carve out my nose a little bit using a Zoeva 109 Luxe Face Paint brush, just going along the sides and the bottom. For the brows, I'm using a NYX Taman Frame Tinted Brow Pomade, and I'm in the shade Brunette, and I'm using a 322 brow line brush. I'm going through this pretty quickly. You've seen me do this a gazillion times. Anyway, I love this pomade. It's really easy to use, to manipulate, and it gives me a great shape with my brows. Just make sure that you go through and brush them. And then also I'm going to be kind of setting my brows in place and also using a little bit of a lighter pigment with this Wonder Brow, and I'm also in the shade Brunette, and then again just brushing through with a spoolie. Your brows will be bulletproof, I promise, if you do this. Like, it'll last for a year if you don't take it off, but you should take it off. And then for the lashes, I'm using this Estee Lauder Little Black Primer as my step 1. This gives you the most beautiful, soft, and fluttery, natural looking lashes. This is stunning with like no makeup on. It just enhances your lashes and makes them look so beautiful. Honestly, with this look, you could definitely get away with this because there's so much eyeshadow already going on. But, you know, of course I wanted to step it up a notch, but I love this so much. I wasn't sold at first, but I am obsessed now. So anyway, just top and bottom, coating my lashes. See how much separation it gives and how fluttery they look? It's so pretty. Okay, now I'm going into my Dior Iconic Overcurl Mascara, which is kind of like the same thing, but just like 1,000 times more voluminous. And, you know, it gives you a little bit more hold than this little black primer. But anyway, one coat. Spend a little bit of time here, just build it up, and you can see I get a little bit on my lid, but just use a, like a, what do you call it? A Q-tip when it's dry, and it'll just come right off. So, yep. Ugh! I love the lashes. Okay. For my highlight, I'm using this new Exposed highlight, and this is from Tarte. It is so pretty. These come out in July, I believe, and I've been applying my highlight differently lately, and I love it. I'm using a Zoeva 103 Defined Buffer Brush. This is like a foundation brush, like a little detailed foundation brush, and this presses the powder into your skin so beautifully and like melds it with your skin. So actually this is my only highlighter that I've actually tried this technique with. I'm going to try it with some other ones, but oh my goodness, I think it just makes your skin look extra glowy, and yeah, it's beautiful. Okay, and then for a little bit of detail highlighting, I am using my Sigma blending brush. This is an E36, so putting this on the cupid's bow and underneath the brow bone. So Tarte is also coming out with 4 new blushes in July, and these are the 12-hour Amazonian clay blushes, and I could not decide which one I wanted. So here's all of them swatched, and I ended up picking Exposed, which is a little bit more of a pinky nude. And I am using my little Morphe E4 brush to apply this on the cheeks. It just looks so natural, and Tarte sent these to me, and I feel like honestly so fortunate and lucky because I don't have anything like this, and it was just really generous of them. To line my lips, I'm using this Revlon Color Stay lip liner, and this is in the shade Rose. And yep, just following my natural lip line, except for building up the outer corners on my top lip a little bit. You know the drill, you've seen me do this. And then for the actual pigment on my lips, I'm using this Tarte Lippy Lingerie in the shade Whisper. This is also coming out in July, so stay tuned for that. And just applying this all over. This is a little bit of a spicy nude. It's beautiful, but it's a little bit too much color for what I was going for, so I used this NYX Lingerie Liquid Lippy, and this is in the shade Lace Detail, and just kind of evening that out and making it a little bit lighter. To set my face, I'm using my Urban Decay All Nighter Makeup Setting Spray, and then for perfume, I'm using my Dior J'adore perfume all over. It's so beautiful for summer and spring, and that is the finished look. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching.
I am having way too much fun with this chair.